Cher, we are right outside the employee parking lot, and many of the workers who work in this complex were released about 3 hours after the shooting. I can tell you could tell which ones were SoCal Edison employees just by the looks on their faces. They were very upset, and many of them told us that they could not talk to KTLA about what happened inside because they were instructed not to speak to us. Now, these are the people who were hiding inside their offices of SoCal Edison. Some were locking themselves in closets. Others hid in areas of the lunchroom. These are the workers who heard those gunshots, and they knew the people who were killed and wounded. It's really hard for any of us to imagine what we would do if we were in that situation. Employees of the businesses next door also heard the gunshots, and they also hit the ground. In fact, we spoke to two men who were only feet away from getting caught up in the shooting.
We're about to go into the cafeteria, which is a building that it happened at. We're about to go eat, and next thing you know, we see everybody running out, and we're on the phone. We knew something was going on. Next thing you know, we heard a gunshot, and then that's when like 100 cars pulled up, and then we started being evacuated after that.
Well, that was likely the final shot, the one that killed the gunman. Two schools were also placed on lockdown for a couple of hours until police could confirm the gunman was dead. Students at Walnut Elementary School and Olive Middle School were later released. Now, for the most part, many of the workers we've seen leaving this complex behind me were very exhausted. They've been questioned by investigators for hours here, and as you can see, there are still officers on scene. Not everyone has gone home just yet because we see some cars still in the parking lot. We'll keep an eye out here for you and give you the very latest coming up on the KTLA News at 6:30. Reporting live in Irwindale, Brandi Hitt, KTLA 5 News.
Brandi, thank you.
Well, Micah, we've seen many of these SoCal Edison's workers leave this parking lot today just visibly upset, and they told us they've been instructed not to speak to the media. These are the men and women who witnessed two of their colleagues be shot and killed and several others wounded by this gunman. Now, when it happened sometime around 1:30, when that man opened fire, we have learned that many of the workers locked themselves in offices. Some hid in closets. Others ended up huddling up together in rooms, and they shut the door, wondering if they could possibly be the next target. Others called their friends and family, not knowing what was going to happen next. In fact, we spoke to the father of an intern who worked at SoCal Edison, and here's how he describes the conversation he had with his own daughter.
The shooting took place right next to her building. There's 3 buildings, I believe. She said they were locked in a big room, I guess.
Does she work for Edison? Or
she works for Edison, yeah.
So all 3 buildings are part of Edison.
Exactly.
And how many people were in this room with her?
She didn't say. I could hear voices in the background, though, and people calling their loved ones, I guess. I'm telling them.
Was she upset?
She was quiet. I was trying to keep it together and not get her upset. As far as I know, she's okay. And when I get to hug her, it'll be even better.
Most parents watching would agree with that. Well, 2 nearby schools were also placed on lockdown for a couple of hours until police could confirm that the gunman was in fact dead. Again, half the employees we've seen leave here looked very upset, distraught, emotionally and physically drained. The other half looked relieved. Reporting live in Irwindale, Brandi Hitt, KTLA 5 News.
Brandi, thanks.
Micah, we have learned that the gunman is a 51-year-old man who worked here and that he came here armed with a gun. Now, KTLA is not releasing his name before investigators do, but this is what we know right now. Not only did he come in here with a gun, but he also exactly when employees are going to be able to return because they still have a lot of investigative work to do. We do know that 2 of the people who were hurt are still in critical condition tonight at the hospital, and there will be grief counselors on hand for anyone who works here at SoCal Edison. Reporting live, Brandi Hitt, KTLA 5 News.
Brandi, thank you.